Hi, so this is a follow-up post to a post that a colleague of mine, James Sider, posted recently around the use of MCP servers and accessing industrial data using LLMs. So if you haven't seen that, I'll include the link to Jimmy's post there if you want to have a look at his video. And what we're looking to do over the next days and weeks is release a series of videos showing different use cases using these types of new approaches and what's the art of the possible, I suppose, from using these types of things in an industrial setting.
Okay, so in this example, we are going to walk through a use case where we are going to pretend to be the maintenance person interacting with the maintenance management system, so the CMMS. So what we're seeing on the screen here is I suppose, a window into our demo environment. So this is lots of different applications that we've sort of built up over time, and I suppose an architecture and infrastructure that we can use to test things out and demo stuff to customers, etc. I'm not going to go into massive detail here. We can maybe do a little walkthrough video if someone's interested in seeing what we've put together. But for the use case today, what we've done is sort of mocked up a bit of a CMMS system. So if I go into SQL, basically we've a CMMS database here with an asset table. In that asset table, then we just have entries in here for different instruments, valves, motors, etc., with some useful information, tag names, descriptions, make, model, installation dates, cal dates, etc. And then for a bit of a front end to our maintenance management system, we have, click into this guy. Jimmy's made up a bit of a front end to that using Node-RED, which I thought was quite nice. Just a list of the assets, and then if you wanted to update the entries, you can submit them from here. Okay, I'll pop back out again. So we have our table in our database, and we're going to use HiByte today. So the HiByte Intelligence Hub has the capabilities to enable an MCP server and then build out, I suppose, tools that an LLM can interact with data from your, I suppose, your production systems or your industrial data, basically. So in HiByte, I have an SQL connection here already set up to our CMMS database. I wrote a little sort of simple query then for this get calibration due dates. So that's what the MCP tool is going to be using to retrieve the prompt we're going to run in a few minutes, the data back to that. So if I pop into pipelines here, a number of tools built out, but one of them being this guy here. So this is the get calibration due tool. Set it up as an API trigger that's callable, passing in a parameter of days. The pipeline is then going to execute that query and return the results back. And then because that result has been passed back in this type of fashion, then the LLM will receive that result through the MCP server and then process it and give us a good result, hopefully. I suppose something to point out while I'm in here is just the naming. Clear, concise naming is really important for your tooling, just for I suppose, to help the LLM out in terms of finding what's the right tool to use, and then also building out the context here for your tooling. So what's the purpose of it, and what's the kind of format that you're expecting to return, some helper information as well. So lots of different ways to get good results from your tools. And again, maybe that's something else we'll do in a different video, getting into some more detail on good practices and stuff like that. Okay, so that's the pieces of the puzzle. I'll just pop over then into Claude. So Claude is going to act as our agent or our LLM that's going to interact with our industrial data via the MCP server. So if I drop this down, you can see Claude can see two MCP servers. We're only really interested in the HiByte one in this example. That MCP server has a number of tools available to it, and in our case, we're hoping that he's going to find this guy, get calibration due date. So pre-made prompt here. Save you the hassle of watching me type it out badly. So, hi Claude, can you check if there are any devices that need to be calibrated in the next 30 days? And can you format the results in a table? So let's see what Claude does with that. Okay, so he's understood the prompt. He's looked to his MCP server and said, no, there's a get calibration due that kind of matches what I'm looking for. And obviously that's not just based on the description, it's based on the context of the tool. I can see the results back to the LLM, and it's formatted in the table that I wanted. So what's he got back here? So for tank 1, there are a number of devices there, right? So it's a couple of temperature transmitters, a level transmitter. They're due in the next 30 days. And it's actually even found that there's another one here for tank 2, a level transmitter that's overdue. And it's just pointing it out in the summary here. There's one overdue, 4 actually due in the next 30 days. Yeah, focus on the one that's overdue and schedule the others. So simple use case, but I think it kind of shows the power of it. In this example here, we're just using this LLM to kind of give us that little table back, but maybe someone might want to email the result of that to someone that's relevant to it, or maybe it could expand it out. It can check if there's work orders created for the ones that are due, and if not, create them. So I suppose the possibilities are endless there. So hope you enjoyed that one. Thanks for watching, and I suppose keep an eye out because we are going to be putting more and more of this type of content out. So thanks again, and see you in the next one.